So, welcome back to another episode of Retirement Income Planning. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about savings per month. We actually talked about that a little bit in the last episode, but now we're going to dive deep into how important is saving and when does it not become important. So, before we get started, I just want to celebrate another 4 case success stories where Surecash made 135% from BlackBerry in 1 month, Dexter made 100% from SPCE in 6 months, Sam made 63% from HRL in 2 weeks, and Brad made 70% from CIEN in 2 months. So congratulations to you 4 gentlemen. So these are fantastic case studies. Keep up the good work. So let's go back to savings rate. Now, previously I said, well, if you're starting with $100,000 and you're saving $1,000 a month, then this is the amount you save, this is the gain. So right off the bat, you can see initially in your first, second, third, fourth year, the savings amount is actually greater than your year-over-year gain. Now, I'm using 5% here, but let's say you're a little bit more aggressive and you put all of your money in S&P 500. So this is still a sizable amount, it's increasing, but it's still less than the amount of money you save for the first 5 years. So until you hit 200,000, saving is actually contributing more to your portfolio growth than the market growing itself. So when I talk to people, sometimes they want to make a quick buck, they want to make profit now, they want to see results in 4 months. But when you think about how quickly the S&P 500 is moving, it's actually not that fast. In fact, if you have less than 200,000, you're actually much better off focusing your energy on saving 1,000 a month than, trying to game the system, making a quick buck, increasing your transaction costs and your taxes, so then it slows your return down. So that's why patience is so important when it comes to investing, unless you have, of course, a more aggressive strategy where you can increase your return. Now, one of the columns I've calculated for you here is really the effect of savings. So this is how much savings contribute to your portfolio as a percentage for that year. So if you just look at a formula, it's quite straightforward. It is 12,000 divided by the total portfolio value at the end of the year, including the money saved. So this 19,000 actually includes the 12,000. So in the first year, if you have 100K, then of course savings is 10% of your portfolio growth in terms of dollar value. So that is fantastic. But when you look at the second year, it's starting to go down. So it's going down and going down. And in the 5th year, it's only 6%. In the 10th year, it's only 3%. So at this point, you would have 362,000. And the money saved is 12,000. So this is really not moving the needle that much anymore. And you can see that after you hit around 800,000, it only becomes 1% or less, and savings basically becomes not that important. So that's where your return kicks in, where the higher return you get, the faster this number goes down. So the faster your percentage return becomes more important. So let me illustrate what I mean. So in this case, let's say you're getting 10% return, which is the S&P 500 return for, let's say, the last 5 years or so. Is closer to 14% right now because the market has been crazy. But let's go with 10%. So here you can see initially, yes, the effect of saving is 10% of your portfolio growth for the first year, but it quickly drops to 3% after 8 years. And then it drops to 1% in year 16, again, 800,000 or so. So then it becomes nominal. So that's really how you would think about the savings per month. So that means when you are looking to grow your portfolio, your initial hard work to save up this amount to basically achieve a portfolio size where the money saved is 12,000 will be less than a year-over-year gain is crucial, because this is the hard work you need to put in. This is why you need to be frugal ahead of time, so then you can enjoy the benefits later. So the benefit is really having the year-over-year gain being significantly higher than the money saved. So then you can let your money work for you. But initially, you do need to save if you have a smaller account. Now, let me just change one of the assumptions for our younger friends here. Younger meaning anyone less than 40. So that includes myself. So if you have a small portfolio, let's say you start with 10,000, okay? So I've seen people, they try to start with 5,000, okay? Then here you can see for the year 1, 2, 3, 4, the effect of savings is humongous. We're talking about 53% of the increase in your portfolio is caused by the money saved. In fact, if you just make 7% from the market, it's only $700. And when you think about, how much you get paid every single hour, maybe it's $10, $20, $30, you can easily just work a little bit of overtime and make up this amount instead of spending hours and hours on investing. And that's why when it comes to investing, you do need kind of like a minimum amount you're aiming for before you start investing, because if you just put it into S&P 500, the question is, well, is it really the best use of your money? Is there something more creative you can do so then it will make investing less worthwhile? Because let's say you can start a business with 10,000, then the return might be higher than getting 7% from S&P 500. So that's really the paradox of planning for retirement, because on one hand, you want to retire as early as possible. But when you're younger, your portfolio balance is small. So is investing in S&P 500 really the fastest way for you? Or do you know something, have a technical skills, or have some sort of artsy skills that allow you to generate an income that allows you to grow faster than 7% per year? And you'll be amazed by the kind of return people get when they start a business. Okay, so let me just change this back to 100,000. So the number looks a little bit more normal. And that is really the effect of saving. And if you understand that part, then you will be more inclined to work hard in the very beginning. And then afterwards, you'll enjoy the fruits of your labor once you hit somewhere over 400,000. So after around 300,000 or so, then you'll see the effect kind of goes down significantly. I'm highlighting this column instead of the other column. So that's when how much you save doesn't really matter anymore, or matters a lot less. So what's important is really the percentage gain of your portfolio. So that means increasing the percentage gain of your portfolio is really a long game. You're not looking to, let's say I make this 10%. For the first 2 years, if you have $100,000, the gain you're getting is still less than the amount of money you save and the money you put into your portfolio. So that's why as you become older, as you become more wealthy, the percentage gain is crucial when it comes to investing. That's why when I started investing many, many years ago, I actually focus on the percentage, not exactly the balance amount, because I know that the balance will grow comes from savings, but the percentage gain is what matters once you hit these later years. Because if you are able to get a higher percentage, you will grow a lot faster regardless of how much you're saving. And that's really my strategy, is to grow. Which sounds very aggressive, but anyways, you get the idea. So let me look at one more thing here. Now, when you're looking at the year-over-year gain, what you'll observe is that after a certain point, it will kind of replace or exceed your after-tax income. And another effect that you see here is really after a certain point, if you want to increase the money you save to match that amount that you gain, it's actually very difficult, because let's say you hit 600K here and the gain is around 40K. Now, if you're a regular person, you're making 100K a year, which is already considered to be very high income. You need to be extremely, extremely frugal in order for you to save 40K a year, which is approximately 4K a month. So that means at some point, even if you want to catch up your savings to your gain, let's say at the 600K mark, is extremely difficult because you need to be so frugal that you might question yourself whether it is worth it anymore. So again, I'm just reiterating my point on why the year-over-year gain is important and why saving doesn't really matter in the later years. So it's all about the percentage gain. So in the next video, we're going to talk about the investment accelerator return. So that is really the return I target, which I kind of have it here as the desired column. So the way you use this calculator normally is really you just kind of have these fields that are in yellow where you can change. So then you can quickly get the calculation you want, because now you have a much stronger understanding of how the calculator works, where the numbers are coming from, what are these plus buttons. So in investing accelerator, the target is 30% return a year. Now, of course, this is an aggressive target. You might not get it every year, but if you have a strategy that gets you 30% every year, then you might be wondering, hey, how can I allocate money to this? How much should I allocate to it? And what is the effect if I'm able to achieve that kind of return using more financial knowledge? So that's really what we're going to talk about in terms of financial plan. That's usually what I help people with. So if you want to learn more about investing, then again, you can grab the 4-hour free training below. It's the first link in the description, and you'll learn more about how I invest in the market, why I target 30%, how I target 30%, and whether that is something you're interested in as well. So after that, you can schedule a free strategy session and chat with me, and I'll see if I will be able to help you. So I'll see you in the next episode.